So Swamp Thing is over, and I thought I would do a quick video reviewing it. So Swamp Thing is the third DCU live-action TV show, joining Titans and Doom Patrol, and it's a show that has been covered in controversy and talk since it aired for a bunch of reasons. There's been so many problems with it, and basically during production, it was originally supposed to be 13 episodes, and during production just stopped out of nowhere on episode 10, and this bled on for ages and ages. There were like rumors that there was a problem with budgeting, a bunch of that sort of stuff, until the show actually aired, and after one episode it was cancelled. The rest of the season played out just like it was supposed to, but the show wasn't getting a season 2, a season 3 or whatnot. Then we found out that this show was originally supposed to have 3 seasons that would lead into a Justice League Dark-esque show, which would have been crazy. So there's a lot surrounding this show that kind of does affect my enjoyment of it, or how I watched it. And honestly, due to the fact of how this show very clearly is setting stuff up, the show ends with a post-credit scene setting up Justice League Dark, or at least setting up a villain for Justice League Dark. The fact that they didn't cut that out, knowing the show was cancelled, shows to me that it's not. A lot of people are saying like, oh, they left that in because they're obviously implying that Justice League Dark is still happening. No, I think that they just got lazy and they didn't cut it. Because there is rumors that they might continue the show in a movie or whatnot, but I don't know about that. The movie was so expensive, or the TV show, sorry, was so expensive because Swamp Thing looked amazing. I don't know how they made him look that good in live action, but you could tell this was an expensive TV show, and I don't really think that this show will get saved or will get renewed or get a movie or whatnot. And because of that reason, I think that this show was lazy in that they didn't want to cut out aspects that are obviously setting up for something else, and because of so much of this show is given to setting up season 2, or setting up villains, or setting up heroes and whatnot, things that don't go anywhere, it doesn't work as a one season show. It doesn't work as a mini series, because that's kind of what it is now. It's a mini series, and I don't think that I could recommend this TV show to anybody knowing what it is like. Because of that as well, I don't think I'll ever rewatch this myself, unless it gets some kind of revival or renewal, which I don't think is likely. I will never come around to rewatching this. Like Blue Devil, for example, is a hero in the comics, and most of this, well, not most of this season, but a side plot this season was setting up his character and setting him up for becoming the Blue Devil, and his story ends in episode 10, right kind of before he gets too far into that Blue Devil story, like before the shit hits the fan, if you will. The season ends, and that makes it frustrating. It's the same with characters like Abby and Swamp Thing, so they don't really get any definitive endings, and I thought that was a little bit frustrating. I thought the cast was perfect, the costumes were perfect, like the Swamp Thing, the Floronic Man that we saw the end of episode 10, all of it was beautiful. They were movie level quality costumes, and the production and the set design, all that was also great. I'm not that big a fan of horror aspects, or at least, like, the magical aspect of DC is probably my least favorite aspect of the universe. It's the main reason why Legends of Tomorrow Season 4 didn't get me, is because a lot of Legends of Tomorrow Season 4 was based around the same kind of stuff that Swamp Thing Season 1 was based around of, and for that reason, the story wasn't kind of for me. A lot of the things they were doing, the plot beats, for example, I just didn't really get invested in. Like, I'd say Blue Devil, his story, and Swamp Thing itself was my favorite part of the season, but in my opinion there wasn't enough Swamp Thing. The first 5 or 6 episodes he basically only appears in glorified cameos, and from then on he's definitely the smallest aspect of most of the episodes, which is super frustrating for a show called Swamp Thing. Then again, I'm not saying that the plot is bad or that the story is bad. The dialogue is written well, the writing is definitely really good. It's just not my kind of thing. So I'm sure people who are into this kind of aspect of DC, who are big fans of Swamp Thing, or who are big fans of just horror and things like that, would have definitely gotten a lot out of the show, or a lot out of the season. But yeah, that's kind of what I thought about the show. Honestly, it's probably my least favorite of the DCU originals. Like, I know that I haven't exactly been kind to Titans, but I still had fun a lot of the time with Titans. Like, I can remember the standout episodes of Titans, I can remember the standout episodes of Doom Patrol. Obviously every episode of Doom Patrol was a standout, but like, I can remember the individual episodes of Doom Patrol, and I can remember the individual episodes of Titans. Swamp Thing is a lot more serialized in that every single episode is just a lead in from the last, and because of that, the entire season just kind of meshed together in my mind. I can't really remember much of the distinctive points of the season, whereas with Doom Patrol I can definitely remember, like, the episode with the Beard Hunter, all of that. There wasn't really any episodes of Swamp Thing that I can distinctly remember. It just, the plot just, it all comes together in one thing, which I guess if you're more into serialization of shows, and I guess that's a good thing. I like when some episodes kind of stand out more than others. But yeah, it's just, if the show had more of a definitive ending and didn't have post-credit scenes leading up to things we're not going to get, then sure, this season might be something that I could see myself coming back to at some point, but because it really ends in a place that kind of makes me annoyed. It's a lot like the Marvel Netflix shows where their seasons kind of ended. Besides Daredevil and Jessica Jones, like Punisher, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, all their seasons end in a place where it makes them impossible to rewatch because you're not going to get a follow-up to where they ended. And it's the same situation here, but yeah, I'm not even going to really give it a ranking because I don't think I should necessarily, considering it's not really complete. It's not a lot of things. It also does feel like there should have been the 3 extra episodes for this season, so it doesn't feel like a complete season, in my opinion. But yeah, that's just my thoughts on Swamp Thing. What do you think about it? I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any ideas for Marvel or DC videos you want me to do, please let me know, and I would love to do them. And please, if you like this video, please like, share, subscribe, and all of that. And I hope you have an awesome day.